Why do we spend our days chasing money we'll never spend? Why do we waste years trying to impress people we don't even like? Why do we follow unwritten rules set by a society that's just as lost as we are? Why do we keep pushing forward when we know death awaits us all anyway? Wake up, commute, work, eat, sleep, repeat, day after day, month after month, year after year, until one morning you're brushing your teeth, staring at yourself in the mirror, and suddenly a question hits you. What's the point of all this? Maybe you've felt it too, that strange moment when life's daily routine starts feeling like a never-ending loop. That's exactly what kept French philosopher Albert Camus up at night. And through his struggle, he found an unexpected answer, learning to be happy in a world that makes no sense. Going back in time, people had it easier in one way. Religion gave them answers. Life was hard, sure, but they had comfort knowing God had a plan. Every struggle had meaning. Every hardship served a purpose. Even death wasn't the end, just a doorway to meeting their maker. Then science stepped in. Darwin's evolution, the Big Bang. Suddenly, those comfortable answers started falling apart. Friedrich Nietzsche saw it coming. He announced, "God is dead." Not because some divine being actually died, but because he watched Europe's faith crumble. Science and reason were taking over, leaving a massive hole where meaning used to be. Ever noticed how, when you lose something important, you don't just miss the thing itself, you miss the stability it gave you? That's exactly what happened when society lost its grip on religion. People didn't just lose God. They lost their anchor in a stormy sea of questions. When Darwin published his work on evolution and scientists explained the Big Bang, people's connection to faith weakened. Nietzsche called it out first. His famous words, "God is dead," weren't about an actual divine death. He noticed how Europeans were drifting away from their religious beliefs. As labs and textbooks replaced churches and prayer books, a problem emerged. What gives life meaning when you remove God from the equation? Many turned to nihilism, the belief that life has no meaning at all, no purpose, no point, just existence. Then death. Depression and anxiety filled the gap where certainty once lived. That's where Albert Camus came in. He looked at this mess and asked a different question. What if meaninglessness isn't our enemy? What if it's the key to real happiness? Camus spotted something nobody else had. He realized we're stuck between two opposing forces. Our deep need to find meaning in everything, and a universe that stays silent no matter how hard we ask why. He called this clash the absurd. Think about it like trying to have a conversation with someone who never answers back. You keep asking questions, hoping for a response, while the universe just sits there, doing its thing, completely indifferent to your existence. Frustrating? Yes. The end of happiness? Not according to Camus. Camus found joy in this seemingly hopeless situation. He used a simple Greek myth to explain how, and I promise you, once you understand it, you'll never look at your life the same way again. Remember Sisyphus? The guy who made the gods angry and got the worst punishment ever? They forced him to push a massive rock up a mountain. Every time he reached the top, the rock rolled back down. Forever. No breaks, no end, just endless pushing. Most people look at Sisyphus and feel bad for him. After all, who wants to roll a rock up a mountain forever? Camus took a completely different angle. He said Sisyphus represents all of us. Our jobs, our goals, our daily grind, we're all pushing our own rocks up our own mountains. Look at your own life. Monday, push the rock up. Tuesday, rock rolls down, push it back up. Wednesday through Friday, same thing. Even if you land that dream job or buy that perfect house, guess what? You'll find a new rock to push, a bigger house to chase, a better job to hunt. Now here's where Camus flips everything upside down. He says Sisyphus isn't just a symbol of our struggle, he's a symbol of how to be happy. The key moment isn't when Sisyphus pushes the rock. It's when he walks back down the mountain, knowing his work was pointless, knowing he'll have to do it all again, and he keeps going anyway. That's real freedom. When you fully understand that nothing has meaning, you're free to create your own meaning. When you accept that nothing matters in the grand scheme, you're free to decide what matters to you. According to Camus, there are 3 practical ways we can use this mindset. The first is drop the what-if game. Stop torturing yourself about making the right choice. Lost your job? Who cares? Another opportunity will show up. Failed at a project? So what? The universe doesn't keep score. Living in pure rebellion is the second one. Every time you choose to be happy despite knowing life is meaningless, you're giving the middle finger to fate. You're saying life makes no sense, and I'm going to enjoy it anyway. And finally, you need to embrace the why not attitude. Want to start a business? Why not? Scared to ask someone out? Why not try? When nothing matters, everything becomes possible. You might think accepting life's meaninglessness would lead to sadness. For Camus, it's exactly the opposite. When you stop searching for some grand cosmic purpose, you start seeing the small joys right in front of you. A cup of coffee in the morning, laughing with friends, the feeling of sun on your face. Life becomes simpler, when you drop society's made-up rules. Getting fired isn't a tragedy. It's just an event. Making less money than your friends isn't failure. It's just a number. Aging isn't something to fear. It's just part of being alive. Camus puts it perfectly. You'll never be happy if you keep searching for what happiness consists of. He's telling us to stop overthinking and start living. Take social media. Everyone's posting their achievements, their vacations, their perfect lives. You know what Camus would say? Who cares? He'd probably laugh at how seriously we take these things. Your follower count, your likes, your social status, they're all just rocks we choose to push up mountains. True power comes when you can look at all these pressures and simply say, so what? Didn't get that promotion? So what? Your startup failed? So what? Someone criticized your choices? So what? Each so what becomes a tiny act of rebellion. Each time you choose happiness, despite life's meaninglessness, you win. You're not winning against anyone else. You're winning against the absurdity itself. But here's something essential Camus discovered. The moment you truly accept that nothing matters, everything becomes possible. You're free to try anything, free to create, free to fail, free to succeed, free to live entirely on your own terms. People often misunderstand Camus. They think accepting life's meaninglessness means giving up, living recklessly, doing whatever you want without caring about consequences. That's not it at all. Camus isn't telling us to stop caring. He's showing us how to care about the right things. Stop obsessing over what you can't control. The universe's silence, death's inevitability, life's randomness. Instead, focus on what's real, what's now, what's in front of you. Some days you'll win. Some days the rock will roll back down. Keep going anyway. Find joy in the pushing itself. Make peace with the down and up rhythm of life. You're not measured by how far you push your rock. You're measured by how you handle the pushing. Camus left us with a powerful message. One must imagine Sisyphus happy. Not because his task makes sense, not because he'll eventually succeed, but because he keeps going despite knowing all this. That's real strength. That's real freedom. Look around your life right now. Your job, your relationships, your daily routines. They might seem meaningless in the grand scheme, and maybe they are, but you're free to fill them with whatever meaning you choose. Every morning you wake up, you have two options. Let life's meaninglessness crush you, or use it as your superpower. Let it free you to create, to love, to laugh, to live fully. Not because the universe demands it, but because you choose it. The universe doesn't owe you meaning. You don't owe the universe meaning either. You're free to write your own story, push your own rock, find your own joy, even in a world that makes no sense at all. And maybe that's the biggest plot twist of all. Real happiness doesn't come from finding life's meaning. It comes from embracing life's meaninglessness and living fully anyway. That's how you win the absurd game. That's how you live happily in a meaningless world.